here we are back. Let's get right directly into the next subject matter. The black-owned businesses are on the rise. The number of overall U.S. businesses increased by 10% between 1997 and 2002, but black-owned businesses jumped over 45%. With more businesses started by black professionals and managers, the long-term prospects of black-owned businesses have improved. And, Timothy, I'm going to start with you, brother. I'm going to start with you.
About time.
We like being the diverse on diversity. This is incredible. I mean, more of these businesses are starting here and there. What do you think is the reason?
Well, first of all, it is a good thing, but I would like to dig into those numbers a little bit more. And if you look into the numbers a little bit more, it's still, in terms of the overall income of these businesses, it still does not match up with what the average business income is for a non.
So more businesses, but more of them failing. I mean,
well, not simply failing, but just the revenues are not as strong as some of the other businesses that are out there that are small businesses or their competitors.
They're not starting tech businesses. They're not starting tech-oriented business or businesses that could get that kind of money. They're starting mom and pop stores. They're starting cleaning services. They're starting those kinds of things. So they're not in that economic bracket.
Well, you know what? I want to tell you this: that more African Americans in my generation have had the opportunity to go to college, are now out there starting businesses and doing things where we had a lag of that happening. We're now learning about how to operate and run businesses, which I think will increase in our numbers in terms of what our revenues are generating, and learning how to deal with our competitors.
What do you think?
But I think it's a good thing overall.
What do you think, Ricardo?
Well, there's reasons to cheer this, and there's reasons to look askance at it. Well, number one, it's 2002 figures, so it's a snapshot in time. Why it's so important to Milwaukee is that Milwaukee is a majority city. To the extent we are going to develop economically, it's going to fall to minorities who that term will then become obsolete in this city. To the extent we grow, we're going to need minority growth.
Oh, indeed.
But if I read those figures correctly, Milwaukee lagged both in new businesses overall and in black businesses nationally. Compared to national averages, we still have to grow some more. That growth should be cheered. But we need to do more.
Well, these Hispanic businesses are growing pretty well as well over this trend as well.
Both communities' businesses are growing, but I think what needs to be discussed in this whole debate is how these businesses are going to be supported by financial institutions that are tied to these communities. And that is where the debate is missing, is how these mom and pop stores, how these businesses that are growing are going to be supported by banks that are committed to these communities. And you don't see that debate happening.
Well, let's have it right here and now.
We have all of that discussion about rising black and Latino businesses, but who is it that they have to go get loans from? Who has to approve financial support for those businesses? It is not black-owned banks. It is not Latino-owned banks. It is banks that we have to go that are outside of our communities. We have to start talking about, once these businesses are growing in our communities, how then do we incorporate within these communities banking institutions, financial institutions that can help support that growth?
You always like to bring race into it, don't you?
Well, that's something that has to be debated on Focus on Diversity.
Come on. I mean, what we have here, we have an SBA. We have a Small Business Administration that gives, that guarantees these loans by 85%. But you see a lot of these businesses getting these $25,000, these $50,000 loans, not enough money to even compete in the marketplace.
Well, we have to understand that while the numbers are great in terms of growth, the numbers do not reflect maturity of business. And that is something that we have to continue to work on. We have to continue to make sure that there are the right consultants in place, the right management groups that are in place. More lawyers is a really good thing. More accountants.
Okay, now we're definitely going to go to the next subject matter. Okay, Wisconsin's growing energy problems. The average Wisconsin We Energy customer is paying 24% more for electricity and 33 to 47% more for gas over the last 5 years. I mean, We Energy is just gangsters, ain't they? At the same time, profits and executive pay for We Energies have increased 18%. Gangsta or not, Ricardo Pimentel?
Well, I think they have some fairly reasonable arguments for why
You're
costs
kidding.
go up. No.
No, they're gangster.
let me-
I mean, these guys are sitting
No.
back and they know they can do this because who else can we go to?
You know those high gas prices you pay?
Yeah.
They pay them too.
Oh, they pay him as well?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you this much. What I'm feeling right now is I'm feeling taken advantage of. I'm sorry. When they sat back and they merged the bill with electricity and gas, didn't it all of a sudden seem like we just started getting charged up the wazoo? What do you think about that?
This is a monopoly gone amok here. I mean, this is a situation where the fossil fuel industry, the cartel, the oil cartel out there has been able to stymie alternative forms of energy to prevent competition from, and we're paying for that. And we talked about China and what is going on there. They're going to need a lot of petroleum too.
Oh, yeah.
And eventually those prices are going to rise more because that energy is going to be even more scarce in order to support that huge economy.
What do you think, Timothy?
I would love for the liberals who are complaining about the prices
Oh, please.
and the profits to begin to open up and allow for the America to begin to tap the natural resources that we have.
Nuclear, wind?
Sun?
Why can't we drill? Why not drill? I mean, how long are we expecting to allow the prices to continue to rise and create the scarcity when there isn't a scarcity? This is the problem.
I wish we could spend more time because I'm going to tell you right now, we energies are gangsters. No. And when we come back, we're going to keep the heat. Stay with Focus on Diversity. We'll be right back.